My bad. My microphone was off. Can you hear now? Yeah, it's the program I'm using. Like if you have a Apple device, if you have an Apple device, it's called Streamchamp. It's one of the best streaming programs for it because if I try to stream my Apple device through Air Server and then stream that onto the net, it is so much delay that it looks like it's super laggy and it's kind of disgusting. So that's why I don't do it. With Streamchamp, it lets you stream directly from your iPad. It directly connects to Twitch. This is why I started streaming on Twitch a lot. And this is the program, Streamchamp. What's really cool about it is there's a way for you to set it up to stream onto YouTube, and there's a way for you to set it up to also stream straight onto Facebook. It's pretty freaking neat. It's basically called your ingest. And if you notice, I created an ingest called Facebook. If I create an ingest called YouTube, I'll be able to also stream directly to YouTube. The thing about YouTube and Facebook is you also got to go onto your computer to start them. Where if I stream directly onto Twitch, automatically I start streaming on Twitch, it automatically goes right onto Twitch right away. I don't have an extra step to do. That's the only difference between it. But yeah, it's a very cool program. It's the best streaming program. The one I was using before was Streamlabs. This still works better than Streamlabs. It works so much better. Yeah, if you also want to know, I have a video on my YouTube channel that also shows you how to set it up, how to set up Twitch, how to set up Streamlabs if you're using an iOS device. I don't know if the program is on Android, but if it is, I don't think it's going to be that much harder to set up either. It's a very, very cool program. But on iOS, it's the best device. It's the best way to stream, period. The thing too is, this is one of the things that's kind of weird. If you do a screen recording and if you do a stream, oh, that's, you never know. Even if it's not, here's the fun thing about it, right? Even if you didn't want to stream for people to watch, you still could use the service to stream and record your game, and then you can download it back and hold it for yourself. Like, and then you can watch and see stuff. Like, the cool thing about Twitch is it holds it for 14 days unless you create a highlight. Once the highlight is created, it holds it forever. So that's the give and take. It's a lot easier also to stream it to your computer instead of taking up space on your device while you're recording. Because if I record a video game, a gameplay on my iPad, it can go somewhere to 600 megs, like if I do 10 minutes. If I stream it, I can push it straight to YouTube, or I can download it onto my to my computer. Yeah, that's just the thing. That's the reason why streaming is actually pretty cool, and that's the reason why I kind of love basically going on Twitch. Yeah, I have it on my iPhone 8. I have it on my iPhone 10, and I also have it on my other iPad Pro. Like, my daughter has the iPad Pro, my son has my iPhone 10, and then my phone is an iPhone 8. I've played it on the 8, and I've played it on the 8, and I've played it on the iPad. The thing I like about the phones are they have a much wider field of view than the iPads. That's the thing I've noticed. You can see a lot more. It's the same way when it zooms in to when it zooms out for the Primal on my iPad, that's what it looks like normally on my phone. I wish I could have that. So that's one of the things somebody keeps putting in there's about 2 or 3 guys who keep saying, like, can you all adjust the camera on the iPad? Like, let us zoom out. And I understand what they mean now. I didn't get what they were talking about until I saw the Primal view, where the Primal zooms the camera out and you can see more of the screen. And it's a major difference, and I understand what they're talking about. You're literally at a disadvantage playing on the iPad. The view is a lot closer for no apparent reason I can think of. I can't think of it either. it doesn't cripple me because I didn't understand what it was until I saw it. But I dominate on my iPad. I prefer playing on my iPad anyway. So it's just the way I play. If you want, that's my name. I'll send you the name here too. So if you want, you can add me as a friend, and then if you want, we could play together on the stream too. And if you have any questions about like mods and other stuff like that too, I can go over them also. Like this is what I was talking about earlier in the game, right? So I'm going to show you my loadout right now. I bought 2 new guns so I could have full assassin banner. So that's the Writhe, and I bought the Mutiny Song. So soon as I got the first mod for the Writhe, for the Mutiny Song, and the first mod for the Writhe, the guns played better. So here's why this game is not really pay to play. Play to win, because these mods come out randomly, and I can't make the game give me mods for a specific item at all, even if I would want to. It rolls them random. It took almost 4 or 5 days. Actually, it took about 5 days before I got 1 mod for this gun. Now it's up to 4, which is kind of crazy. But before, I couldn't even get 1. For this ability that I have now called the Warden, which is Leap Attack's younger brother, but I got this mod in the second day that I had this ability, where usually with this gun it took forever for you to get just a 1, and since I've gotten 1 now, it gets mods all the time. It's very, very weird. But the idea is, if you look at it, I'll just show you what the mods do. So when I first got the first mod, you'll see what the first thing it had on it was something called Scavenger. So what Scavenger does is every time you take out an opponent, a human opponent, you gain 15% of a small pickup. So you see those red crystals that look like 3 bullets? Every time you pick those up, you get heavy ammo, right? So when you shoot somebody dead with Scavenger, you get 15% of one of those small ones. So that's the first thing that the mod done. Then it has something called Lethal Asylum. Every time I pick up a red crystal to gain more ammo, I also gain a shield for 1.4 seconds. It becomes a gold bubble goes around me. What shields do is they increase your health by the number that they show you. So 100 shield means you get a 100% boost to your health, fortified health, for exactly 1.4 seconds. So, and then the next thing I have is something called Spirit Well. Spirit Well, whenever I pick up a Primal, one of those blue ones that brings down my cooldown to let me transform into Primal, it gives me 10% more than I would get normally. So if I was getting 100, I get 110. So that's how that goes. So these are the things that make your guns. Which part? Which one do you want me to repeat? All of it, or Spirit Well, or Scavenger, or Lethal Asylum? So the way it works with all of these are all traits. So if you see that the little crystal at the side for the Catalyte mod, it has 3 traits on them. Each trait gives you something special while you're using that weapon. So, and it applies to any way as a human that I kill somebody. If I kill you with an ability, the Scavenger trait still works. If I kill you with the Writhe, the Scavenger trait still works. It's not based on the gun. My human form now has this ability. Whenever I take somebody out, I gain that bonus. So that's how it basically works. So the whole idea of what they do too is, so like the one I'm using right now is one called, so the one I'm using now, this is, and they come in multiple modes. Like the green ones are called uncommon mods. They give you the basic version of your ability, of your trait, but it's not the strongest. It's the weakest version of the trait. The next version you'll get is something called rare. Those are blue. Then the next version that you get after those are going to be epic, which are purple. Then the next version you get after epic is a goldish orange, which is called legendary. And then there's supposedly these things that are called mythic, which are like legendary mods but red, and they give you way more boosted stats. They'll give you 3 boosted stats instead of 2. No, this is the order of when I received the items, and then the order of the mods are the order that I received them in. So this is my oldest mod, this is my second oldest mod, this is my third oldest mod, the top is my newest mod. And what I do is I keep getting a bunch of green ones. The green ones are usually weak or weaker versions of something I have sitting in my blue or my purple. So I don't get rid of them. And the reason I don't get rid of a lot of mods too is certain mods have features that I want to use, but they have stuff like health boost. Like this is a rare version of health. This is an epic version of health. It's about 1% more. So that's why I have that. That would be nice, yeah. Another one too is I would love to be able to organize my inventory too, because like if you're talking about like what's my number one? My number one is grounding bolt. It's one that I used this in almost every build I had for at least a month and a half, and it was in everything. Because grounding bolt was so strong and so cool that while I was playing it, I kept on writing feedback that they needed to nerf it. Because I was like, man, this thing's too strong. Man, this thing's too strong. And when they finally... so what grounding bolt does is you throw it out at a person, it hits them, does damage, and it slows them for 60% for 2.2 seconds. If you're a sniper, that's a dead person because they can't run away from you. If you're using any other gun, you slow the person down so much they can't get away. If, let's say, you're being chased by somebody and they're really fast and they like to gap close, you can hit them and then you can run away at twice their speed while they're crawling at you. The counter to grounding bolt, leap attack, and temporal rush. Those are the only two things. Those are gap closing abilities. And warden. Or blank strike. So those are the only things that can stop it. The movement abilities that counteract the slow. Sprint does a really good job too, because even if you hit me with the slow, when I hit sprint, my speed would still be increased by 6% because my sprint is at level 9. So those are counteracts. There's ways to counteract it, but it's a super, super strong ability. It's one of the strongest. It was one of the strongest abilities that I've seen. And when I had it first, when it was in 0.2 or 0.3, that thing had a slow of, I had it at level 6 or 7, and the slow was over 3 seconds. It was 3.4 seconds. The damage was over 600. It used to be crazy strong. Its range used to be 16.4. It had the furthest range of any item in the game. That's how long its range was. It was stupid. It made no sense. I used to be able to stop and slow people off screen without seeing them. It also has a gigantic hitbox. So when you throw it, you could miss a person by, let's say, half a meter. They'd still be frozen. It was insane. It still has that hitbox. It's just that they shortened the range. So a person can't be running off screen or at the edge of your screen and you throw it and you would slow them and you would kill them because they can't run away from you. So yeah, it was nuts. It was kind of crazy. But this new balanced version of it, I thought was like the perfect balance. I said you should put the range between 12 to 14. They put it 13.4. And I think it's solid. To this day, people use it. It's annoying and it can kill you. When it used to be OP, overpowered, I used to be able to still survive it 9 out of 10 times because I knew how it worked and I knew how to maneuver around it. even when people thought it was, oh, I have it now, it's the best weapon, if I hit you with it, you're automatically dead. I would win 90% of the time if somebody used it against me. And if I was using it against you and you were using it against me, you'd lose and I'd win. Oh, here's how I do it. I don't use my dust unless the item is about 200 away from, you see, I won't dust any of this stuff until it's at least XP reaches up to 1200. That's just my pattern. Or no, 1300. My pattern is I don't push anything unless it's under 200. When I want to push things faster, like the Warden, I've pushed it 2 or 3 times when it was at 400, 500. But in most cases, I personally do not use my dust to push anything past 200. In almost any item that I get that's brand new, I always have so much dust that I can always push it up to at least level 4. That's the only time where I go over most of the time. If I'm trying to keep a set of items together, I will spend higher amounts of dust to get them close. Like I got the Warden up to level 8 because I'm using it a lot with these 2 weapons that are at level 10. That's the only reason I pushed it so fast. But that's really it. The reality is you just have to have some discipline on using it, because a lot of people would like take their dust and just push, oh, I'm going to put this up to 20. Yeah. So the crystals are for buying mods inside the shop. My rule is once it's around 5,000, that's when it's around 5,500 is when I usually buy crystals. The only reason I spent so much was I was trying to get a mod for my Mutiny song. So it's in the rotating shop. Ugh, I don't want that. Ugh, I ain't buying any of that. It's for this thing called random mod packs right there. Random mod packs, they cost 500 shards. Nah, you actually can get those really fast. So when I play, on average, every day I get somewhere between 3 to 5 crystals. Because of dailies, I always get 2. And in most games that I'm playing, the way I score in games, I'm averaging about maybe 3 to 5 crystals with not counting dailies. So I'm always getting crystals. So if I look at something, it's because these guns don't have that much. But let's look at here. Yeah, you see this uncommon one up here? Otherworldly, whatever. I don't need that. Recycle. There you go. That's how I get shards. The crystals are super easy to get. It's just, and you have to understand, I've broken down a legendary mod once because it was so useless to me that I'm like, I'm never going to use this. So I got 200 crystals for that. It's the reason it works to me. It's not few. It's because I play a lot. The way you get crystals is it's also by maximizing your XP. So for every 60 to 80 XP you earn, a crystal pops out. Like if you're able to earn 160 points of XP during well rested, you can get 2 crystals to jump out. Back in 0.2, where kills were the only thing you got XP for, people used to rack up these crazy amounts of kill scores, 500, 600 kill score. It would take them hours to do, but once it ended, after they had all those crazy amounts of kills, what would happen is they would get like 5 crystals at the end of the game, or 6 crystals at the end of the game. So it's literally based on how much XP you're earning. So if you want to earn XP fast and you want to do really well, even when you're rested or not well rested, the mode to play in this game is Eventide. The way you get a lot of points in this game, it's not even about kills. The way you get a lot of points is the north and the south parts of the map have the crystals that are always falling, the shards, the crystal shards that are falling. You want to basically be taking as many of those crystal shards and getting them back to your outpost and scoring in 20-point buckets. So if you get 6 of those, that's 120 points. If you bring 3 of them, that's 60 points. But you want to keep getting those a lot. The other thing you want to be running around doing is you want to be taking outposts back from the opponents. So when they take your outpost, sometimes you let them take the outpost. When you take the outpost back, when you kill the guardian, you get 24 points. If you kill it with a friend and you just assisted, you get 18 points. When you take the outpost back, you get another 30 points. So that's 54 points max in one shot. So if you're taking outposts and moving crystals back and forth, you're going to guarantee yourself at least 1,000 points. 1,000 points translates to somewhere between 27 to 30 XP. If you can get to 1,500, you get near 35 to 40 XP. So you just want to keep pushing that. So if you keep your score high, if you can get to 2,000, that's like killing, taking out objectives, killing the bigger bosses, doing all that stuff. And that's the way you're basically going to get your points moving. What happens is when I start playing with a lot of the dudes that we know, a lot of the veteran players or a lot of the guys who have strong builds that are super annoying because I'm not using my best build, my score is anemic. Sometimes I'll be at 400, 500, 300. But even when you get 300 or 400 in Eventide, you're still getting 16 XP. The way it works is if you're playing Capture the Flag, if you're playing Flag Hunter, if you're playing Core Rush, to get that same 16 XP, you're going to need about 1,000 XP in most of these modes. You just do. That's the only way you're going to get them. If you want to get like that 30, 40 XP, you're going to need close to about 1,800. But if you go over like 2,000 and you keep the game going on for a long period of time, you actually start losing XP. So yeah, it's a balance. Eventide is just the easiest way to get XP. It's not gimped. I thought they were gimped, and then what happened is Zekent explained it. The trick is Eventide is such a long mode, and there's so much happening in it, and there's so many ways for you to score points. They purposely let you gain XP super fast for a short period of time playing. But as the game progresses, it starts to slow down. That's the key. For these modes, the average of these games are supposed to be around 15 minutes. So if you can gain a lot of points within over 15 minutes of time, you're going to get a good bulk of XP. That's literally how it works. It's just the timing on the modes the speed at which you gain XP is a little different. That's why. Because Flag Hunter modes, Capture the Flag modes, and even Core Rush modes, Core Rush is one that's locked in a time. Flag Hunter, you can only, Capture the Flag only goes 15 minutes. Flag Hunter, that can go on a bit longer if people keep trading. And I don't understand how a Flag Hunter game can be long, because there's literally, I can end them anytime I want. So I just don't understand how people play them so badly. No, it won't go as long as possible, because Eventide has a bunch of timers based in them. So every mode in Eventide is around, let's say every event that happens in Eventide is around 2 minutes. The first, from when you start the game to the first event, is about 300 seconds. So you have about 5 minutes to go. Right after, or maybe 120 seconds. So maybe it's about 2 minutes before the first event. Every event has a timer somewhere between 2 to 3 minutes. If you can finish it faster than the 2 or 3 minutes, next event is coming in the next 120 seconds. So like Arena is exactly 2 minutes. So either you kill everybody on the opposing team, or whoever has the most players left, when the timer runs out, they're the winner. Yes, the timers are visible. They're always to the side of the screen while you're playing. They're at the left hand side near the middle. And if you're looking at while you got to score 5 crystals to win the, what do you call that thing? The Wild Moon. You got to win 5 crystals to win it. You need to score 1,000 points, but you have 2 minutes to do it. That's why that game can end in ties. If both of your scores are equal at the end of the timer, tie game. You both get 2 conquest points. If you basically beat the guy out and you score more within, you score the 1,000, you get the 3 conquest points, they get 1. If you can basically have a higher score than them when the time runs out, you also win. So that's how that works. It's literally based on time. And the final harvest works where you're trying to get the other score down to 0. But if for some bizarre reason the score couldn't be brought down and you all just keep trading back and forth, whoever has the highest score at the end of 15 minutes in final harvest, game ends anyway. So every section of an Eventide game is scored. I think the max that game could go is 30 minutes maximum, because everything is definitely timed out. If you can reach 28,000 super fast, that game mode could be less than 9 minutes. I've seen it. I've actually started it from beginning to end. They go somewhere between 12 to 15 minutes because everyone is still playing competitively and trying to speed up things or get scores. So yeah, it doesn't really matter in the greater scheme of things. That game mode, you can't stretch it out because everything you do gains points. You kill people, your team gets some points. You pick up crystals and send them in, your team gets some points. You kill, every time you take a base and you kill a guardian, your team gets points. You kill an overseer, you get points. You kill a dreadnought, you get points. You kill the behemoth, you get points. Like, there's points everywhere. So you're constantly getting points. Yeah, change of events. If you look at the blue part where it changes the event, let me show you. Actually, let me see if I can go find it on my Twitch. I'll go to my Twitch and I'll show you it on one of these two. I just got to get to an Eventide. I just got to find an Eventide. I have one in here. So in the beginning of this stream, there's an Eventide game. So next event's gonna happen in 91 seconds. So I'm gonna move it. That's a minute and 30 seconds. So now look, FlashPoint, central location.
Fortress.
You see the timer on the left hand side of the screen, right under it, and then you see the score. It's we have 3, we got 4, and they have 0. So there's a timer and a scoreboard right at the left hand side of the screen, right under the description of the mode that you're playing. It's always there.
A victory.
Yeah, so but every mode has that. Every mode you're playing actually has that. Oh, I have to get rid of that. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Alright, actually, I gotta stop. Get out of the way. Alright, there you go. Alright, so I'll switch back. Yeah, that's definitely true. Because of the way the phone screens are, your hand definitely is over some of the sections that you're on. You're definitely right. It's the reason it's so easy to see is, one, I'm streaming it, so I can actually look at. Sometimes I'll be sitting while in the stream. I'm like, how the heck did I die? And then I'll look at, while I'm waiting to respawn, I can actually watch. This game is delayed by a few seconds, so I can always see on the stream what killed me and how I died. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, but that's why I can see it. And you're definitely correct. Because of the way the phones are designed, I'm wondering if they should move some of these things around based on what type of device you're using. Yeah, so it's what I miss is if you ever get a chance, if you go onto Discord, when you click on my profile, you'll see my YouTube channel. You can go back and go look at the older updates, the older patches, like 0.2, there was this really cool little feature they had that whenever somebody killed you, it said who killed who, and it had a little funny saying on how it was done. Like it would say, Iso Rod popped Soul Slayer's head like a pimple. Like it was super funny. Or what do you call it? Iso Rod got wrecked by hail. It was the funniest thing. They took it out. We keep saying, can they put it back in, or have it as an option that we can like swap between? Because it was funny as heck. It was really fun to see. But yeah, like you get to see a lot of the meta. And me, I always played against meta. I always try to play I played as many different build out and loadout as I could. So it makes it easy when new stuff, or I'm trying new things, I can actually play them and see how they work. Like the strangest thing about this new meta is your primary weapon is really hard to use without heavy or a primal to back you up. If you don't have either one of those things, it's really dangerous to get into fights. My primary weapon just reached a point at level 10 where I can say it's kinda can take somebody out, but it's still kind of hard. Its stat just went up to 140. So it's going up by 2. So at level 10, it went up by 22 from where it originally started. So it was weak as heck. But you also got to understand it's a dual wield weapon. So every number you're seeing there is literally times 2. So that's how it works. So the damage is really times 2 because it's 2 guns, not just one. But both guns have 16 bullets in them. So it's like really hitting somebody with 32. Where this one is so dangerous is called the Codeficient Constant. It's a primalist weapon. It's literally the dual wield version of my favorite gun. Yeah, the reason why these guns are so powerful, like believe it or not, people don't realize how powerful their first gun is. Because read its stats, right? It's a 6 bullets, right? But it's 6 bullets being shot out. It's 6 charges being shot out at 3 bursts. Each one of the 3 in the volley is doing that same damage. So believe it or not, your sincerity is hitting whatever the damage is times 3. Always. From when you first get it. So it's a really powerful gun. Also, it has this sick range. It has 10.6. The only other gun that had 10.6 until the new set that came out, we're talking about rifle type guns, was the Lord's Dreamer. So my 2 favorite guns are Lord's Dreamer because it did more damage like per bullet, and the Sincerity because both of these guns had that range of 10.6. Like, how do you beat a chain gunner? You kite backwards, shooting at them out of their range. You have an extra 0.6. So you literally could kill them while they're full spin, not hitting you. You're moving backwards fast enough to shoot them and they taking damage and you're taking none. That's how you beat a chain gunner. Like, the funny thing is, the Wraith, this gun, can't beat a chain gunner because a chain gunner's range is 10. Well, in reality, I can because I do more damage than they do. I actually today, at my level 10 Wraith, I went running at a chain gunner. Both of us at full health, I won. Which that didn't make sense to me. It still doesn't make sense to me. I don't think I should be able to beat that gun even at level 5. At level 10 with dual wield weapons running at it. It might have been, I don't know, but I was playing a game. It was a core rush, and the person was doing pretty well, and we were doing okay. They were catching people with mortars. They were catching people with good shots and stuff like that. But at that last point, I'm just like, what the hell? I just ran at them, and I'm just like, this shouldn't work. But yet, at the end of it, here's what's even worse. I still had I had a quarter of my health. Yeah. Yeah, that made no sense. You should have won that. This is what I mean by the chain gun is too weak. I'll tell you a patch ago, I don't know if this gun is that strong, but chain guns didn't lose those fights. It just didn't. Now, the chain gun, look at that. Look at the damage on that thing. I said give it 20 or 30 more. This is my chain gun at level 13. It's going up by 2. That means at level 1, it's in the 90s. It's in the 90s. That's crazy. No, you got to understand. Go look at my .02 videos of a chain gun. It had way less ammo, and it was harder to spin up. And the heavy chain gun had way less ammo, and that was harder to spin up. I figured out a way to beat people with that gun where I could fight them 5-on-1. Weirdest thing. They weren't veterans, but yet 5-on-1 is still a crazy number to basically be able to fight and win with chain guns. And I'm talking about .2. They had crappy range. The spin up sucked. They had very little ammo. It was the worst. So what's the number on it? Because so at 5 that would have been plus 10. You probably had 100. You probably just reached 100 with that. That's crazy. That's what I'm saying. On base, that gun should start at where my gun is now at level. You see what I mean? I knew it. I knew you just reached about 100. And that's just by doing simple math, looking at what I have at level 13. And I know I added 26 to that. That's insane. That gun shouldn't be that weak. Because look at the problem. Look at the heavy version of it, right? The heavy version is at 230 something at the same level. But the mods ain't the problem. Just prior to this patch, before they doubled all the health. So the health used to be, all the green bars that we used to have used to be 500. So when the base health for every human in the game was 1,000. Now your base health is 2,000. They literally buffed all of the heavies. All the heavies do crazy amount of damage now. Yeah, look at that. That's level 50. What the hell? That's a lot of damage. It wasn't that high last time. And look at the objection. That's just crazy. Because you see that number there? That's not even close to the damage I do. I do about 4,000 with that gun. Because I'm using it at double sniper. I never use it by itself. I always use it with the bracer of dedication. And that gives me 24% when I'm 10 meters away or greater. This is stupid. Like I'm telling you, it's just too much. Yeah, and it's cheap too. It should be in your essential shop for like 25. It's like one of the greatest guns in the world. I love this gun because you can aim it. The reason I didn't like this gun is it's the other sniper. Oh no. You see, that's where mods come in. Mine is 4. Mine is always 4.1. When I use it, 22 heavy capacity, and then I believe the bracer, 15 heavy capacity. So I have 37% more ammo than everybody else when I'm using that gun. So I max out around 4.1. So I have 4 shots with it minimum. And I'm averaging, as the game and every time builds up, I'm doing 6K even without being buffed. So it's just stupid. It's too much damage. Like the problem is they buffed the heavies damage super high. Every heavy now does crazy amounts of damage. It's really, really, really high, the amount of damage that they do. They buffed 3 weapons. 4 weapons. They buff this one, the Primal Eye. They buff the Rush. They buff the Trial. And I think they buffed the Facade. So they buffed those 4 guns, which are now the better guns in this patch. And then every other gun that you see here that already existed received nothing. All the sniper rifles got buffed. All the rocket launchers got buffed. And then every other gun was left to its own devices. So this gun, the little mortar, the soft thunder, used to be deadly. It used to be a super gun. It used to actually do a lot of damage. But it's bad. The bad thing about it was you had to be away from people. If you were near people, you just get blown up. But if you were hiding behind a structure and lobbing shots at people or using max range to hit people, you were a king. They didn't buff this gun's damage. You can barely kill somebody now. Lost Dreamer was always a solid gun. I played it. That one works really well. Still to this day. The damage is just solid. So I watched when this patch came out, people were playing Lost Dreamer and they were doing work with it. I tried it just to see how my level 20 build felt. Still strong as hell, so I don't need to play it anymore. I tested it once. I was just like, yeah, it's really strong. I'm not gonna bother. So that's why I don't play it. Because again, I'm getting no XP for it, so it's kind of useless. And I can't basically have 4 of the items that I'm playing, or 3 to 4 of the items I'm playing that are getting no XP. Like, what's the point of that? That just doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, the shotgun, my shotgun has somewhere between 10 to 11 charges, 11 ammo. It takes me somewhere between 8 to 10 to be able to kill one person with a shotgun. That's insane. It used to take 3, 4 max. It used to take half your ammo. This thing takes half. It takes almost all your ammo, or 80% of your ammo now to kill somebody. And that's because I have buffs on it. That's just crazy. So most people, if they don't have any buff on that efficiency, they cannot basically kill somebody with 1 full charge of a shotgun. That makes no sense. It's imagine you're playing a first-person shooter and the only way you could kill people is not with your machine gun or your handgun or your pistol that you're carrying. You only could kill them with sniper rifles or bazookas or grenades. Only. What sense would that make? That's what this doesn't make any sense. That's what bugs me so much about this. So the way they did it is there was something called an essential shop. If you first get into the game, they give you around six to 8 items that you can buy, so you're not just stuck with the first 2 or 3 things that they give you. They also have this really neat way now when you do tutorials, they give you 3 items. So you're gonna get the leap attack, you're gonna get the, I believe, the heretic or the rush, and you're gonna get the, I believe, the arrival, which is a fantastic mortar. It's like, so if you're wondering why I say that, my loadout, so here's my level 20 stuff. Level 20 is Lost Dreamer, level 20 is Arrival, level 20 is Grounding Bolt, level 20 is Nullum Guard. The reason why, because I didn't even get to banners yet, it's because they're all primalists. 3 of those things were primalists. And what happens is, when I am running 3 of those items, it reduces my total charge time by 24% of 300. So I have 24% less to get to my next primal state. That's why it was my favorite thing to use. I used to get primals in like under 30 seconds. That's before they started nerfing the crap out of it. Like the first version, I could get a primal every under 30 seconds. The second version, I could do it in about less than 40. This current version takes me about 50 seconds. But there's ways to augment that based on where you are on whatever map you're playing and what you kill. Or if you run the edges of any map in most of the game modes, you can pick up crystals like crazy. And you could just, within less than 15, I'd say in about 30 seconds, you can always get your primal. Just by running the edges of the map. Like if you run Temple of 3D edges, there's crystals all around the edges. that'll reduce your primal counter down to like 50 by the time you finish running the edges of the map. If you played the temple, what do you call it, Azure Plateau, the big one with the jump pads and the 3 outposts, if you kill all those little running creatures all the time, I say in about 25 seconds you can bring your thing down to less than 50. From 300 to 50, like, with no problem. So yeah, but that's slow. You can get it faster than that. Like if you're playing Eventide, north or south, you can pick it up super fast. North or south. Because the thing is, those hunters are running around all the time and they spawn every like 15, forget that. They spawn like every 10 seconds. So the thing is, and they swarm in a horde. You're also getting 3 points for every one you kill, and every one of those you pick up the crystal drops your thing down somewhere between 8 to 10 every time you pick one up. So yeah, you just knocking off seconds off that. Your guns also, when you're shooting and you're hitting things, it's also reducing your counter down really, really fast. So when you're fighting a lot of things and you're shooting and hitting them with bullets, you're also reducing your counter. So yeah, you should be able to get it like under, like seriously under 40 seconds, 30 seconds really, by just going to the southern or the northern part of the map and killing hunters specifically, and then killing guardians. So there's tricks to speed it up. Like I get my primal super fast, and then also to try to keep my score up, I go down there and I'm also picking up crystals. That's how I get my primal super fast. Also, if you kill guardians, they give you a big crystal that knocks off nearly 100 off your counter. So that's also why I hunt outposts. Like I'm an outpost fiend, because every time you kill one of those guardians, that crystal drops your count down by almost 100. So yeah, like I said, you should be able to get primals stupid fast in this game. It's like, it's not even hard. There's just too many ways to get it super quick. So yeah, like, I mean, but that's how they give you stuff in the beginning. There's actually good stuff. It's just all of these weapons, Northern Warmth, the Commotion, Splinter Face. Well, let me see. I wish there was a way to easily see the items and know what items I have. Well, no, that's literally combinations, man. The funny thing is, you start finding out things work well together. Like, because of the fact that I have my level 20 items have no XP, I started playing so many different combos of stuff. I started finding out things work together. So let me show you something that works super well with every gun. I'm going to show you in Heavies. The best Heavies in the game currently, Objection and the Heretic. 2 of the best Heavies. Why? Because, and you pair them with almost any primary, they do super amounts of damage and they work really well. Like Heretic with Primal Eye. I was using that in 0.6. That is sweet. It's a rocket launcher. So here's how it works. Objection is a one-shot kill weapon. Objection has crazy amounts of range, but stupid amount of damage. But you got to aim it. You can do the, if a person's in front of you, pop, shoot it. Most of the times, like 90% of the times, it'll hit them. But if they're close to you, you're not doing your max damage. You'll do about 2,000 at my level. At level 15, I do about 2,005. But if I take that and I push back and I take the same shot at like 10 meters or better, I'm doing about 4,000. So the way I like using this gun is at a distance. The Heretic is a shorter range, but it does crazy amounts of damage, but as splash damage, AoE. That's why it's really cool. You can kill like 4 people with one Heretic shot, where with the Objection, I'd have to shoot each one by one. I mean, with the Objection, one by one. I got to aim each guy and kill them. I've done it, but there's a 1 second delay between each shot. Heretic, not so much of a delay. Shoots real fast. It is do you understand why it's level 15 and it's level 15? That's my level 20 gun. Because the reason this is one of the best mortars in the game is if you shoot me dead and I got the mortar off, the mortar's still gonna hit you. With the Hailstrom, this bad boy, if you shoot me dead and only 2 of the volley of 6 got up in the air, only 2 got in the air, and I don't necessarily kill you. with the arrival, it got up in the air, you kill me, boom, you're dead, because it falls right on top of your head and you die also, because it does that much damage, because I was also hitting you with my other gun before you killed me. That's why the arrival was the best thing in the world. And I got so good with it is I'd be running a run the other direction. I see you're running in a direction. I would lob it blindly and I would get the 10 points of you dying without ever looking or stopping. I just kept running the other way and you died anyway. Because you can aim it, and I had a pretty good sense of the radius of its damage, so I could actually blind kill people with it. If you're in a general area and I saw you were running that way, I could just lob it into that direction. You're gonna die, and I don't have to even look at you. I could just go run the other way. I would do that all the time, and it's super easy to get pentakills with this thing. Now, if you think this one is bad, the only thing worse than a rival is a Lumia arrival. Longer range, bigger blast radius, and look at its level 1 damage. It's only 50 less than my level 20 damage. The only thing is it has 1 shot. Then a friend of mine, a guildmate in Hive, came up. No, you do well, but I guarantee you'll do even better with this. Especially if you're really good at hitting people with the Hailstrom. The arrival is worse. And once you realize how it shoots and you get comfortable with its delay, it actually is a better mortar. Because like I tell you, as soon as you get it off in the air, it's gonna hit. The Hailstrom, if I can kill you before you get all your 6 shots up, only whatever you got up before you died is what got up. The Hailstrom has that one little bit of thing that makes it annoying to use. The arrival, it's a one big freaking blob of energy. Once it gets in the air, it's coming down. It doesn't matter if they killed you, because it's only one that had to get out. So that's why I prefer it. And the only reason I play the Hailstrom now is so I can get full protector banner. That's it. After that, there's no reason to play. But that's my big reason for it. It's because of the banner. So everything I play has to do with their banners. It's like I have full ranger, I have full protection now, I have full assassin now, and I have full sniper now. So, and I have full primalist now. So I just don't have. Yeah, I'm telling you, if you're really good with the Hailstrom, like I said, you got to get used to the fact that it feels like it takes longer because you don't have your beautiful little arc of 6 falling towards something. But I'm telling you, it's the damage and the fact that, like, I would do it like this. I would throw it above me and somebody would come running at you to shoot you. You're shooting at them, they kill you, and then the thing lands after they kill you and they die too. So I'm like, yeah, we traded. So that's how that works. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's really good. It's really good. Like, I like playing it. One of the ones I would do is, there's a lot of my old videos, I have something called duels. I would be using dual weapon types together. So I would use dual mortars together. I would use dual battle rifles together, dual assault rifles together. So actually I couldn't do dual assault rifle because I only had one assault rifle. Yeah, that one always sucked. But yeah, so I would do dual sniper, dual chain gun. Now I could do dual wield weapons. Yeah, so that's my whole thing. It's one of the things I used to like to play. And you find out interesting combinations. It's just that when you're playing certain weapons, you have to understand their weaknesses and their strengths. Like the shotgun, you got to have a very speed orientated gap closing build. You can't play shotgun and be slow. You got to be as fast as possible because you need to close in and get close to the people so you can shoot them. Or you can sit by a bush, let people walk by you, and then you run out and you pop, 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 you shot them, and then you win that way. But the shotgun's so weak right now, that doesn't work so well. You got to tenderize them with a weapon, a heavy weapon or something, and then run up and shotgun them. That's the only way it works. That's the issue. It's frustrating as all hell. Like, just a patch ago, which is less than a week or two now, I was able to do some work with my shotgun. Now it's hard. It's real hard. I can do it. It's just not easy. It's because I have a lot of health, so I'm able to survive, but it's not easy. It's really, really tough. So Heretic with almost any primary is super strong. I would use Heretic with Soft Thunder. I would use Heretic with this thing because they're both Seeker, the Northern Warmth. Heretic works great with Primal Eye. Heretic works great with a freaking chain gun. Heretic and a Rush rocket launcher are awesome together too. So that's dual rocket launchers. So the thing about it is the Heretic is top notch. Now the other one, Objection. The Objection build that I love playing was Objection Sincerity. The battle rifle is super strong, and then you have that extreme range with the Objection and the damage. Beautiful combo. Objection Primal Eye. Beautiful combo. Objection Borson. That works well too. Like, there's a bunch of guns. Like, that's why I told you, heavies wise, there's certain heavies that work so damn well that you can play them with anything. Same thing with the Arrival. But in this case, is heavies are so strong right now, they work well with almost anything. That's the key. They work well right now. Heavies are king. So any heavy paired with another weapon, if you use them to find their synergy, they work really well. Objection and the Heretic and the Arrival, they work well with anything. Yeah. Yep. And here's what's cool about it too. Let's say if you don't kill them and let's say you got your spin going with the chain gun, you reduce their energy, boom, Objection, dead. Like, they ain't gonna survive that. Like, the Objection, that one shot from the Objection will end them. So that's the key. That's why, like I said, it's just right now, it's powerful. I hit a buddy of mine. I didn't even see it on screen. He goes, "You just hit me for like 4,800 damage." I was like, what? It was ridiculous. It was nuts. Like, the amount of damage I was doing with that gun. It's weird. Which one's not a great non-player character combo? Which one? Because, believe it or not, do you know that the Objection is a Totem killer too? You just got to kill him at extreme range. And if you can get some good capacity mod traits on your mods, like items you have that increase your capacity, you could literally take Totem and shoot him like 3 to 4 times and whittle his energy down to very low. And then if you have a good range primary weapon, you can get those last 300 to 400 off him and transform him back to human so he's more manageable. But yeah, like, Objection's a great weapon for that. The Heretic's a great weapon for that too, because the damage that they do works well. So when you have heavies like the Objection and the Heretic who have very low ammo, 2 or 3, the trinket you want is the Bracer of Dedication. Bracer of Dedication, every time you kill somebody, you gain that much heavy ammo back. I'm up to level 18. It still starts pretty high. It starts in the 80s, I believe. So or even the 70s. So it's still high right off the bat on level 1. So let me see, it goes up by 2. Yeah. Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. Did you spend so here's what I was going to ask you. Did you spend this stuff already? The marks? Because the cool thing about it right now is I've always kept 200. In the rotating shop, there's a deal that comes up that you can get 400 marks for 200. And then once you get to 500, there's a deal that gives you 750 marks for 5. Damn. I'm hoping maybe for Christmas they'll give us all 200 marks again. It'd be useful. So the key is, like, even when the game comes out, I'm going to always make sure I have $2 of marks in there. I'm hoping it comes out because the stimulus check is coming. I could send them like $5 to $10. I could put some stuff in marks, and then I can wait for those deals and then buy more currency, because there's a nice deal for 100 and you can get for 80. You get 80 for 200. And then there's another one too, is you could get for 500 you can get 150 marks, which are actually better deals than this, what do you call it, 400 for 20 for 2000. And the reason I say 20 is, if you put a decimal point, that's how many dollars that you'd have to spend to get that. So just put a decimal point between the second number. So that's 750. The Enter the Storm, that Lit Protection, that's $10. This Quint package, that's $20. To get a mask outright for marks is $40. And it's the same thing if you're getting it in quints, because it's 800 quints. So 800 quints is this twice. Man, my rule was I'm always gonna keep 200, because they've given us 400 for free since I started. They've given us 400 marks extra. So I had 600 marks at one time. My dumb butt did these traveler's chests, and the reason I did them is my buddy Perception, who is a guy who's been in the Secret Service since the first week of it, like day one, he was in it. He put in 200, opened up the chest, and got Torden. Then another friend of ours, she's also in Hive. She used to go by I'm a Blue Monkey, but she goes by Blue. She put in the 200, and she also got Torden. So I'm like, oh man, this is so cool. I'm gonna try. I got Dust, and I got Uncommon Mods twice. So I'm just like, never again. I am so unlucky with these stupid chests. You cannot pay me money to actually get a traveler's chest. Hex no, no way. Forget about it. Never doing it again. I'd rather spend the 120 marks that it cost, or to get the bundle with Lumia Isia, and Lumia everything, versus this nonsense. Like, this is just nonsense. Never again. Never doing that again. But yeah, like I said, it's so the way it works is, and the way what I'm describing to you is, I try to find out how to play a bunch of different style of game play. I try to figure out how the weapons work. Oh, yeah. So what I'm waiting for in the rotating shop, there is a deal that for 400, for 200, you'll get 400 marks. So you get a net 200. So when I buy that, I'm going to have 400 marks when I'm finished. Then if you can get that, the first time it appeared, I got that deal back to back. So I was able to have 600 marks within the first day of that deal, because I got it the first day, and then right after I bought them, they gave me the deal again. I was like, is this a mistake? So I bought it again, and then I went up to 600. Then like 2 days later, they gave me the deal for 500, get 750 marks. I bought that. So I was at 1,000. I was like really high. I got a lot. I had like 900, and then I think I had gotten the deal again, 200 for 400. So I was at 1,000 something. So, and then I bought something, and I bought the pack where they said for 100 and for 500 you can get 150 quint, and then I bought the pack for 200 you can get 80 quint. So I bought those two. So by the time that they put in this new shop, that's why I was able to get both of my guns. I was able to get the Mutiny Song, and I was able to get the Writhe right up. And then I saved up to get the Warden, and I bought that next. The next thing I want to get is I want to get Concussive Mines. A bunch of people say they're horrible. I remember when people say Volatile Mines were horrible, and then I had a bunch of buddies who play Volatile Mines and got them like to level 20, so they don't even play them anymore because they work really well. So I want to see if I can use those because they have a slow effect and they have mine damage. And the way this works is it's literally setting traps. And if you can catch people with them, you can slow them down and you can just clip them up, especially if you're playing Assassin. So that's what I'm looking for. Or another one is for primals. Like people who like playing Sunder and like leaping on you, you put a bunch of those all around you. People who like playing EC are coming in, sliding into deep freeze you. Concussive Mines everywhere. And then you get away from her, then you shoot her to death. So. Oh no, those are totems. Those are healing totems. Healing totems are deadly. People who use misers. Another gun, if you can get yourself a chance to get, that's kind of worth it. Is this heavy? I forgot about it too because I don't use it. The miser. They call it a flat cannon, but it's kind of like a rocket launcher, but it has ridiculous amounts of ammo. And there's a mod that usually comes with it that's called Sadism. And whenever you shoot it and you fire it, it gives you health. Now, if you're using that with this ability, where is it? Is that it? Yeah, the healing totem. So what the healing totem throws out a disc, and then while that disc is going, it's consistently healing you while you're on top of it. Fantastic thing. Last patch, you took that and you gave that to a chain gunner who was running full Vanguard. You were damn near invincible. Nothing could kill you. Well, they could kill you, but it would be really, really hard. You could basically stand there spraying people, and if you have the infinite chain gun build like I can run, I never ran out of bullets, and I was always healing while I was on it. It was the best thing. I held off people who were respawning. Their shields would go down, and like waves of people coming, you just kept cutting them down. It was great. The good old days. That's just one patch ago. That was freaking-tastic. But yeah, I just tried it today. The only thing I'm going to tell you is, a patch ago, if 3 people came running at me and I was on full spin on my primary chain gun, and I hit each one of them, and most of my bullets were hitting them, I would generate health fast enough and did enough damage that I would kill every single one of those people before they got to me. I could get up to maybe 4 or 5 people. And once you got up to 6 or 7 people, it was getting harder. And if they were hitting you with a bunch of different things, you weren't surviving. The other trick was if they were coming at me from 3 different angles, one from the front, one from my left, and one from behind me, I'm not going to win that either. Like, they could actually kill me super fast. Like, chain guns were beatable. It's just that they were strong especially when they were on full spin and there were people in front of you and you were making contact. I've watched now in full contact with my chain gun, and I'm hitting somebody, and one other person's with them, I die. I've watched myself with just a 4-bar build with somebody on full spin on the chain gun unleashing all their bullets at me, and they die. That's crazy. Yeah, if you have any questions, man, like I said, anytime, I'll even go on to to stream. If people have questions, I'll stream also, and I'll answer them too. No problem. This is gonna be one of my videos where it's just like chatting. I'm gonna play some too. It's just that I was just trying to basically give people some information. But yeah, if like anybody has any questions about it too, I can definitely go in depth about it, because it's one of the things I'm trying to learn about the game, and this is sort of like what happened in an MCMC's previous game, Vainglory. I used to watch a lot of people play, and I watch a lot of videos and read a lot of websites trying to understand how to make the best builds to make things work the best. So I didn't do any videos on it, but I could have. now that I'm realizing it. But yeah. Let me see, where am I at on this loadout anyway? Yeah, so today I'm running double Vanguard. So I have 2 Vanguard. So supposedly every time I hit somebody, I'm getting 48 health. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be happening. And then I'm also running Evasion Loop, which is one of the best trinkets in the game. Evasion Loop is awesome because after you kill a person for 12 seconds, you're going to have the ability to roll twice in a row, back to back, for 12 seconds. And every time you take somebody out, it restarts your 12 seconds. So, and the reason this is such a good ability is I have something called Run and Gun. Run and Gun refunds 15% of your primary clip every time you roll. Then I have an ability thrown on top of it called Agility, a trait called Agility. It reduces the amount of time it takes for your roll to reset so you can roll again. So it shortens the amount of time. So that's why that's great. And the reason I use Leap Attack, it also has, Jury Rig. I'm using the wrong one. I need Run and Gun. Running Gun. This one has 20% running gun. But I could also use, yeah, I think that's the one to use. Yeah, this one has 20%. So together, this gives me 35%. Every time I roll, I'm going to get 35% more of my, 30 more percent of my ammo. And if I killed somebody with Evasion Loop, I can roll 2 times and I can fill my ammo up completely. So it's a real neat build to run. Probably tomorrow I'm going to be running double Seeker, and I'm going to be running it with, yeah, Renewal and the most OP trinket in the game, in my opinion, Kirin's Cash. And what Kirin's Cash does is every time you pick up charge, when picking up ammo or primal energy, it gives you this much of a bonus. And then its banner ability is anytime you pick up the charge of heavy ammo, you will gain primal energy. Anytime you pick up heavy ammo, you'll gain, every time you pick up primal energy, you'll gain heavy ammo. Like, no matter which one you pick up, both of those meters get filled. One gives you ammo, the other one gives you a reduction in the time it takes to become a primal again. And again, I still don't understand how this has never been nerfed once since 0.2. OP banner. And it's always been, I think it always will be. So I'm running double Assassin and I'm running double Vanguard. So that's the plan. Eventide, go!